Kuchisake-Onna, simply referred to as the slit-mouthed woman, is a malevolent figure in Japanese urban legends and folklore. Described as the malicious spirit, or onryo, of a woman, she partially covers her face with a mask or other item and carries some sort of sharp object. She has been described as a contemporary yokai. She takes the form of an adult woman, presumed to be between 20 to 30 years, with long straight black hair reaching to the lower part of her waist. Her eyes can vary in color, mostly being dull or desaturated shades of blue or green. There are the rare few adaptations that give Kuchisake bright or vibrant eyes. As well as this, her clothing also varies depending on the encounter. Most artwork and adaptations depict her wearing either a large beige trench coat, a kimono, or other Japanese-orientated clothing. Sometimes, the location and timing might cause this factor of her appearance to change. However, as the legend goes, she is always wearing something covering the lower half of her face, which she takes off to reveal her scars. Despite what the legend showcases about her, Kuchisake isn't inherently evil upon glancing at how she responds to reactions to her appearance. If the person answered with "she is beautiful," she creates an almost identical wound to herself onto them, reflecting the so-called beauty they told to her. If they answered with "she isn't beautiful," this causes her to lash out against the victim, either harming them beyond recovery or choosing to reflect her wounds onto them. Overall, she seems to be rather neutral, as she seemingly won't return to the same victim until a period of time has passed. And she can easily be avoided with a neutral response to her questions or distracting her with luxuries like sweets or candles. Usually in darkened or abandoned areas occupied by teenagers and/or adults, she will present herself to a target in front of them. With a mask or her face covered in general, she'll ask "Watashi, Kirii," which translates to "Am I pretty?" or "Am I beautiful?" If the person answers no, she will kill the person with her weapon. If the person answers yes, she will reveal her mutilated mouth. She then repeats her question or asks "Kore demo," which translates to "even with this" or "even now." If the person responds with no or screams in fright, she will kill the person with her weapon. If the response is yes, she will slice the corners of the person's mouth from ear to ear, resembling her own disfigurement. Some suggest there is an alternative to escaping her clutches, which revolves around distracting or confusing the spirit. Answering with neutral responses like "you're all right," "you're average," or "you're SOSO" might cause Kuchisake to become confused. This may also occur if you ask her the same question back. Distractions to avoid her wrath could include giving or throwing money or hard candies, particularly the kind of candy known as Beko-Aim, made of caramelized sugar, in her direction, as she will stop to pick them up, or by saying the word "pomade" 3 times. In some witness accounts of this urban legend, Kuchisake may return to a victim who outsmarted her upon their first encounter. This may be in the same/similar locations, or even in their own residence. Some adaptations state there is no way to deter her, and attempting to trick the spirit only leads to fatal consequences. According to legend, Kuchisake-Onna was a woman who was mutilated during her life, with her mouth being slit from ear to ear. In some versions of the story, Kuchisake-Onna was the adulterous wife or mistress of a samurai during her life. As punishment for her infidelity, her husband sliced the corners of her mouth from ear to ear. Other versions of the tale include that her mouth was mutilated during a medical or dental procedure, that she was mutilated by a woman who was jealous of her beauty, or that her mouth is filled with numerous sharp teeth. After her death, the woman returned as a vengeful spirit, or onryo. As an onryo, she covers her mouth with a cloth mask, often specified as a surgical mask, or in some iterations, a hand fan or handkerchief. Beware the wrath of Kuchisake-Onna.